Conversion questions are super common in the GRE and GMAT, and a skill with doing them is also super helpful for real life. So let's look at how they might ask the conversion question and show you the kind of techniques you can use to get them all right very quickly. Take this question, and there's going to be 3 here of increasing difficulty. Cardi weighs 78 kilograms, which is 172 pounds to the nearest pound. What's bigger, quantity A, 10 pounds, or quantity B, 4.5 kilograms? How do we do this? When we're comparing units like this, it's really confusing to know that 78 kilograms equals 172 pounds. That really doesn't help us that much. So my advice is this: always start by getting down to 1 unit, as I've written down below. I don't want to know what 78 kilograms equals. I want to know what 1 kilogram equals. Now in the GMAT, you would use long division, and for the GRE, we can use a calculator to divide both sides by 78. This would give us 1 kilogram equaling 2.2 pounds. So just to repeat, write out the equation, in this case 78 kilograms equals 172 pounds, and then as your top priority, divide so you can find out what 1 unit is equal to. Now we know what 1 unit is equal to, it's not hard to scale that up to the required number of units. For example here, 1 kilogram isn't quite what they're asking. They're asking for quantity B, 4.5 kilograms. So what we would do is multiply both sides by 4.5 to scale it back up again to the required units. Multiplying both sides by 4.5, we find out that 4.5 kilograms equals 9.9 pounds. And if 4.5 kilograms, quantity B, equals 9.9 pounds, then quantity A, which is 10 pounds, is bigger. Notice what we did. Set up the equation, get it down to 1 unit, and then scale it back up. This is the most common question type. Some of you may say it's easier, but I want you to be very competent and quick at doing them. But there are different question types. For example, those involving area. Let's take a look at those kind of questions. If 1 foot equals 12 inches, and it does, what's bigger, the area of a 5 foot by 5 foot garden or 3,600 square inches? What is the number one mistake here that students might do? The number one mistake would be to multiply 5 foot by 5 foot, getting 25 square foot, and then multiplying that by 12 to get that into inches. Notice what they've done. They've done the multiplication, 5 times 5, before converting it into inches. And that gives you an incorrect answer. But some of you are thinking, why is that wrong though? 5 foot by 5 foot is 25 square foot. So why can't we just do that first and then multiply by 12? The reason will be explored more in the next question. But the short version is that the conversion factor for 1 foot into inches is different for 1 square foot into square inches. Just to say that again, the conversion rate for length is not the same as the conversion rate for area, and it's not the same for the conversion rate for volume. Okay, we'll explore that more in the next question, but for now, what should we do if that is wrong? As I've written down below, do the conversion before the multiplication. So convert 5 foot into inches and the other 5 foot into inches, and then do the multiplication. The learning point you can put in your notebook would be conversion before multiplication. If we do that, then we know that 1 foot is 12 inches, so 5 foot would be, multiply both sides by 5, 60 inches. And if 5 foot equals 60 inches, then the area is going to be 60 inches times 60 inches, which is 3,600 square inches, giving us the correct answer of both quantities are equal. Notice we did the conversion into inches first before we did the multiplication. But finally, I've got the hardest type of conversion question. So let's get straight onto that. This is going to be showcasing that difference between a length conversion, an area conversion, and a volume conversion. So this time we're dealing with metric units. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. What's bigger, quantity A, 50 cubic meters, or quantity B, 5 million cubic centimeters? What would be the mistake here? Kind of following on from last question. The mistake would be to think, well, if the conversion rate for a length is 1 to 100, the conversion rate for volume or area is 1 to 100. So let's just times by 100, giving us the result of 5,000 cubic centimeters for quantity A, and therefore quantity B is bigger. Now, you probably thought that is too good to be true, and it is. The question is not going to be that easy. It's not just going to be, well, 1 meter is 100 times bigger than centimeters, so just times by 100 for quantity A to get it into centimeters cubed. No. But here, many students get confused about what the right path is, and they get really frustrated by converting centimeters to meters, meters to kilometers, areas, volumes, all of that kind of thing. So I've got some very simple conversion advice that I've given for decades actually to my GMAT, GRE students, and before that to the students at secondary school. Because indeed, this topic of conversions can come up all the time in so many different tests and in life. What's my advice? My advice is this. If we're going from a length measurement to, say, an area measurement, square everything. Because area is written as centimeters squared. If we're doing volumes, as we are in this question, then cube everything. I know you're wondering, what is he talking about? Let me try and demonstrate. So you know how we started with 1 meter equaling 100 centimeters? But the question's asking about volume. That's cubed, right? Meters cubed, centimeters cubed. So what I'm going to do is literally, as I've written down below, cube everything. I'm going to cube the 1, I'm going to cube the meters, I'm going to cube the 100, and I'm going to cube the centimeters. So I end up with, as you can see on the right, 1 cubed meters cubed equals 100 cubed centimeters cubed. Notice how everything got cubed. Now we can work that out. 1 cubed is just 1. 100 cubed is 100 times 100 times 100, which is 1,000,000. And of course, meters cubed and centimeters cubed, you just leave the 3 there because that's the units. I just want to quickly point out one last time what I did there. I had the original conversion of 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. I realized that the question was asking me about volumes, which is to do with cubed, meters cubed or centimeters cubed, both in quantity A and quantity B. So I cubed everything, including the 1, including the units of meters and centimeters, and especially including the 100. 100 cubed isn't 100 times 3, it's 100 times 100 times 100, which gets me 1,000,000. So now I have the conversion factor to get me from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. Notice it's not 1 to 100, it's 1 to 1,000,000. So now we can finally address the fact that quantity A is 50 meters cubed. It's not 1 meters cubed, quantity A is 50 meters cubed. So I multiply both sides by 50, giving me 50 meters cubed equals 50 million centimeters cubed. And as you can see, that's 10 times bigger than quantity B. So quantity A is bigger here. Now it's rare, to be honest, in the GRE that two quantities are different by that much, but in this question they were. Now, please do let me know if you learned anything from this video, because I covered 3 very common questions. I would say that the first question type, where you need to get down to 1 unit and then scale up, is probably the most popular for the GRE and GMAT, but all 3 question types are ones that students often struggle with, so I really hope you learned something from the video. Have a wonderful day.